We were ferocious. When we talked, when Frankie the Chico was alive, before he was killed, and John was there, and I was there, in a meeting right after the hit, we have to have fear. We have it on our side. We have to be ferocious. We have to kill anybody and everybody who fucks with us in any way, shape, or form, or they'll gobble us up. We can't win. We're fighting different groups in different countries. We can't win. They lose that fear, we lose. We all die. We kept that fear. We used that fear. That's how we stand in power. We lost some people. Frankie the Chico, who was the underboss right away. When we made John the boss, Frankie the Chico was the underboss. I became a captain. Soon after that, I became the Gonzalez family. We lost him. We lost another captain, Adelino. We lost another guy, one of John's bodyguards, Bobby Borrelli. So we were losing guys. We were in a war, too. But the other side was doing hidden hits. They didn't surface because we would hate them. And we had to keep that up. So this was nothing like Al Capone. He didn't face nothing. No backlash, no nothing. It was a great hit. He was a big name. He still is. When I did artwork, I did a portrait of Al Capone when I was in prison. And I actually sell it on my website, but copies of it. And so this was, the people don't realize what the magnitude of this hit. Every family in the country and out of the country were just, this was it. The news didn't put it that way, they did. I mean, this broke headlines all over the world, obviously, but the people still don't realize the magnitude of that hit. I was in 3 Mafia wars. The first one is when I was associate in the Colombo family, the Gallows and Profaci. Then it became the Gallows against Carmine Persico, who I was with, and Joe Colombo. I was involved in Philadelphia War, and then the takeover of Castellano was my 3rd war. I planned it. I had the walkie-talkie, I had a gun, and I immediately came up in rank from acting captain to consigliere, and a while later, I became the underboss.
And was it the right thing to do in retrospect, when you look back at 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later? Was it the right thing to do? Was it the only move you could do at that time, was to take out Castellano?
Yes. I think he was the best thing since sliced bread. Smart. But he wasn't a thug. He was a racketeer, was more of a business guy. A gangster is like me, is more of a thug. At one meeting with Castellano, there was 14, 16 people sitting at his table. And he said, in the Mafia, we have 2 kinds of people. Racketeers. They deal with unions and businesses and all kinds of. And there's gangsters who are a little more thuggerish. They do murders. They do things like that. He says it's very, very rare that anyone in our life is 2, is a gangster and a racketeer, all wrapped up in one. It happens, but it's rare. And we should be proud that we have 1 or 2. He said, one is sitting right at our table, and he pointed, and that's Sammy the Bull. He's both, a racketeer and a gangster. There's no doubt about it. My chest came out about 3 inches, all puffed up. Such a compliment, sitting with every heavyweight in the family at the table. And on the way out, I would joke with them. And you're just a racketeer. Oh, you're just a fucking thug. I'm both. So it was crazy. But I mean, the life, it was, and taking him out, he made a lot of mistakes after that, in me thinking that he's the best thing since sliced bread. He made a lot of stupid mistakes. He didn't recognize, if a guy was a gangster, he would like kind of put him on his side, and he was more interested in the racketeering part. And he made a lot of bad decisions with, over money with other families. Rather than keeping it in the family, there were guys who were broke. You could give it here. Running the bread association. We ran the bread association. He gave it to the Colombo family. And I was at a meeting when Frankie the Chico told him, Paul, we have a lot of guys who are broke. Why didn't you give it to them? Why would you give it to the Colombo family? Well, there's a lot of relationships I got with them. Yeah, you're making a lot of money with them, but nobody else is going to make no money now. And you gave away something that was ours. And that's a small thing, but it's one of 100. Aside from the fact that at the end, John Gotti and Angelo Ruggiero got caught on tapes. They were dealing drugs. There was a rule: you deal drugs, you die.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of tapes, and they got all screwed up. They were going to get taken out by Paul. And I sat with Frankie. They had asked us for help. And in the conversation, Frankie told me, I think it's time to take Paul out and save John Gotti and his crew. We can make him the boss. I wasn't too happy about that. He said, I could be his underboss. He can't be mine. He's got an ego like the Empire State Building. So, but we'll be the power behind the throne in you. And let him run it. If he acts the fool, which he does quite a bit, I give you my word, we'll kill him. I'll be the boss, you'll be my underboss. There was some personal shit he did with my family at that point, Paul. I'm not going to get into it. It's very personal to me. So I says, I'll never forget that. But I don't want it to be about revenge. I want it to be about the whole thing. We're taking out the boss of bosses. I want to keep this as goes in us. And all the other mistakes, taking out John and his whole crew, because they didn't stand a chance. And the little personal thing I had, I guess that was icing on the cake. I put my hand out to Frankie the Chico. I says, I'm on board. Let's do this.
Right.
Then he says, you've been in 2 Mafia wars, which the Colombo and Philadelphia. You playing this in. I'll do the best I can.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.